What's up? I'm Skratch Bassett and welcome to Skratch School. We've been getting a lot of feedback on people wanting to know more about beat juggling. And before I get too deep into some more complex patterns and skills used at the higher levels of battling, I want to start at the very roots of beat juggling so that everyone understands what it is. Hip-hop music is a music made out of other musics. Hip-hop started with the DJ. Before a DJ was selecting specific beats, there was no hip-hop music. There was just other music. By the DJ choosing certain points or breaks or grooves on records and extending them, he was essentially creating a new form of music, hip-hop. These beats and grooves could have been on any genre of music. R&B, soul, jazz, rock, disco, they were all over the place. As long as you could find an open beat that people liked to dance to, the DJ would extend it, and that's how he kept the party going. DJs would look for rhythm everywhere, for beats that would make the crowd go crazy, and these came from a lot of different places. You wouldn't think that from a cover like this you'd find a hip-hop record, but in essence this is as hip-hop as it gets. The name of this record is The Big Beat by Billy Squier. What I've done here is I've made a mark at exactly where the first kick of the record is going to be at 12 o'clock. You can set it wherever you like. Some people like to set it at the needle, like at say 1:30. We call that in the clock arms. At 12 o'clock or maybe 1:30. Some people like 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock. Wherever you feel comfortable, as long as you know that the beat's going to be there when you start scratching it. Put this record on. I can kind of spin forward to find it, and then it's right at 12 o'clock. I do that with both records. So now it's at 12 o'clock. If you cue up the first song in this record, you got a wide open break. By getting a second copy of the record, you can extend that part for as long as you want. Before the vocals come in. And sometimes you get a little bit of bleed or a little bit of funny, kind of cool mistakes that happen with this kind of type of song. You gotta be thinking about it. But it's really good practice to just play with these records, because these records weren't made to be juggled. You're kind of working with it, and I find it a good way to stay funky, you know, keep your rhythm going. You never know what's going to happen. You work through skips and you learn how to make good things out of mistakes, basically. Recover. This is just freestyling. No headphones, I guess. Maybe I need them. Try to get faster. Oop. Ooh, missed it. It's important to work through mistakes. We're not all perfect, and that's what's fun about it. I gotta fix my needle. Almost. In approaching juggling from this way, we learn how to work with our mistakes, and we learn to just listen to what's going on the record. We don't overthink it too much. And I think that's really important when you first start beat juggling, because this is where it came from. It came from building a groove. And if you don't have groove, your beat juggles will sound mechanical or stiff. You got to understand that it's all about keeping it funky and adding your style to beats to make it unique. There's an amazing collection of music called Ultimate Breaks and Beats that is really the foundation of a lot of hip-hop classic samples that you may know. I suggest going and buying that collection of music if you can. I think if you practice juggling beats from the Ultimate Breaks and Beats collection, you have a good hip-hop foundation for the skills you're going to need to get to more complex juggles. This beat is actually on that collection. It's called The Big Beat by Billy Squier. So I've got 2 copies of this record. I'm going to go more in depth with juggling it and freestyling it and try to push myself to make new beats. I'll build in complexity as I go, but this is all going to be freestyle, so cut me a little bit of slack. And the timing's not always perfect because it's a live band actually playing. But that's where you gotta kind of get funky with it. Simple stuff can be good. Missed it. It's alright. Pick it back up. And get faster. And then play with the snare, maybe. So that's basically me just freestyling with a breakbeat. I don't necessarily have a routine for The Big Beat by Billy Squier, but I can just sort of improvise as I go. And I feel like that's a great base for trying things out and thinking on your feet and really not tying yourself to an idea of it has to be perfect. You can mess up and still make do and make new patterns and keep it moving. So I think this is a great place for you to start when you're learning how to beat juggle. Find some classic breakbeats and get busy. This is Skratch Bassett signing off for Skratch School. Make sure you subscribe at skratchschool.com. We'll see you on the decks.
Skratch Bastard.